Hey everybody, this is Germ, and if you remember, if you've been watching this channel for a while, I used to do a series on a semi-regular basis called Tips for College Freshmen or Tips for College Students, and I think I'm actually going to keep doing that. I kind of had a break on my channel for a while. A little bit, I wasn't really posting a whole lot of in-depth stuff, and that was mostly because my wife and I were gearing up to move. So for a couple months, we had a lot of stuff we had to sell because we weren't taking much with us and things like that. So now that we're moved and I have more time, I'm going to get back to some of that. And one of those things that I really enjoy doing, and a lot of you really seem to enjoy watching, are my tips for college freshmen. In case you're new to the channel, I am currently 22 years old. I've been out of college for about 2 years now. I wasn't like a rock star, amazing student, but I think I did pretty well in college. I didn't have any major slip-ups. I graduated a little early. And I think when you're going into college, it can be kind of a scary time in your life, even if you don't want to admit it, just because you're doing something you've never quite done before. Maybe you've never lived away from home before. Maybe you've never been without your parents or your family or your friends or anything like that for that long before. So you've got a lot of stuff you have to learn how to do. You have to learn kind of to take care of yourself in some aspects. You have to learn how to manage your own problems. You have to be more responsible because unlike high school, college is not designed to pull you through kicking and screaming. Once college gets your money, they don't really care if you pass or fail. College is for adults to go get an education, not to satisfy, governmental education requirements like high school. So, it's a lot of big changes and it can be a little unnerving. But now, given that it is close to the end of July, going into August, a lot of you are going to be going into college. Those of you who are going to college this year are going to be going in the next 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks. You're going to be going. So there's something very important I think you should do right now because this helped me out a lot. You need to log in to your school's website. Most colleges and universities have a web portal you can log into with a student ID, which you should have by now. And you should check out your room assignment, check out who your roommate is, double check your meal plan, double check your class schedule, because you should be signed up for all those already. Unless your college does things significantly differently. But if your college does things like most universities and colleges do, you should already be signed up for all those. Well, you're thinking, if I've already signed up for them, why do I need to double check them? Well, believe it or not, colleges do make mistakes with that stuff sometimes, or they do make changes in policy. My senior year of college, so by this point I should have had this all figured out, right? Wrong. 3 weeks before my senior year started, I found out that our university had turned all of the 2-person rooms we were staying in into 3-person rooms. And they didn't, of course, make the room any bigger. They just decided it was now a 3-person room. So I had a lot of reevaluation my roommate and I had to do. I had this one roommate I'd had since the beginning of college, and of course I wanted to keep living with him. We were good friends. And I didn't necessarily want to live with him and another person. And as it turned out, that other person was a freshman. So nothing against freshmen, but when you're seniors, your class schedule and everything about your college life is a little bit different from when you're a freshman, and it can be a little bit annoying to live with a freshman. Not that he wasn't a cool dude. He was a pretty cool dude. But so you need to log in right now, because I didn't find out till 3 weeks before I was going back to school. So you need to log in, double check your meal plan, make sure it's the one you wanted. If there's anyone you know who's already been to that college, ask them about the meal plan. Why you think it might be a great idea to get the meal plan that gives you like 35 swipes a week at the cafeteria. You might find out you hated the cafeteria. I didn't think the cafeteria was that great. I ended up getting a plan. I switched to a plan my second year that gave me a bunch of meal points or meal dollars around campus and just a couple swipes at the cafeteria. You want to double check into that stuff now while it's not too late to change it. You want to make sure that if you did request a roommate, you want to make sure that you got your roommate request and it's correct. So you still have a couple weeks if you need to call the office. If you don't know who your roommate is, this is someone you're just meeting for the first time, call them, find out some way to contact them, whether it's on Facebook. Get their email address, their phone number from the university. Most of them will give that information out to you since you're going to be roommates. Anything like that you want to go ahead and do so you can talk to them beforehand. So 2 of you don't bring microwaves and you don't have to have that awkward conversation about, hey, I thought I could bring 3 recliners and you can't sit in them because they're my recliners because they're special and mine. And no, you don't want to have all those conversations. Once you get to school, it's just going to make things awkward. It's good to talk to them. If they live in your area, if you're going to like a more local college, going to college close to home, your roommate might be local too. Maybe you guys can even hang out, hang out a couple evenings before you actually get there, because your roommate, it can be a great friend. I was extremely fortunate in college. I never really had any roommates other than the freshman my senior year who we weren't really friends just because he was a lot younger and he had, he was a freshman. He had a lot of different things going on. I have nothing against freshmen as a class, but our educational experiences and everything were just in much different places. So we didn't really become very good friends, but we were cool with each other. But I made very good friends with a lot of people I lived with, and I'm still friends with them to this day. So you have the opportunity to get some wonderful, lasting friendships out of the people you're going to be living with in college. And always remember, if you get a crappy roommate, you can always request a room change, or you can pick someone new next semester. But now's the time to be checking into making sure everything is set up the way you want. As far as your class schedule, you need to double check that. Go through and kind of block it out on see if you can get like a weekly schedule, where it's got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the hours, and block out when your classes are, like with a Sharpie, and then find out where the locations are on campus. Your class schedule should tell you, like North Campus, room 1450 or something. You try to block all those out and see if you can get a map of campus and look at it, just to make sure you're not making things harder on yourself. I remember I had a humanities class on one end of campus, and it ended I think at like 12:30, and then I went right from there to the other side of campus for a class that was about an hour and a half long. So I had to get from one side of campus, I had to get to the other side of campus, which it was a big enough university that wasn't, you had to walk pretty fast. It wasn't like just a 2-minute walk down the sidewalk. I had to get over there and get lunch and be down in class. I could eat in class, but I had to get my lunch and be sitting in class all within 20 minutes. And that semester kind of sucked, just because that was very, very hard. Like, as soon as our class was over, my girlfriend and I actually had both of those classes in the exact same period. So we both had to, like, slam our laptops shut, throw them in our bags, hop up, try to be the first ones out of the classroom, first ones out of the hall, down the sidewalk, fast as you can. She would run and get seats. I would run to the cafeteria, or the food court over in the other end of campus, and grab a couple Chick-fil-A sandwiches. And it was just like, it was a lot of stress. And if you can kind of look at that now, you can avoid it. Also, in case you've signed up for like some 7:30, 7:45 classes, unless you're like a really early morning riser, reconsider that. My experience has been the earlier morning classes, the instructors don't enjoy them that much, and the students don't enjoy that much either. Unless you're really an early morning person and you're just sharp and on in the mornings, don't do that to yourself. Your life is short and college is short, and you shouldn't have to spend it waking up super early. Maybe that's just my personal opinion, but there's plenty of time to get your work done throughout the day if you're diligent. So anyway, if you're going to college, if this is your first year of college, congratulations. You're about to embark on what should be a very rewarding and interesting life experience. I'll be bringing you more of these videos, just talking about particular topics that I wish someone had told me when I was going to college, things that helped me when I was going to college. If you have any questions as an incoming freshman, send them to me either as a comment on this video or just message them to my inbox. I would love to answer them and help you out. With anything from like negotiating with RAs to how to sweet talk professors. Anything like that, let me know, and I will do my best to help you out, because college was a great time, but I know if you don't know what you're doing, if there's things you don't get answers to, it could also be a really frustrating time, especially for the first weeks when it's your first year. And it's okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask someone who's already been there, who's been where you've been, to give you a little advice, especially one gamer to another, So anyway, have a great day, guys. Talk to you later.